I started before Holiday Inn started. I remember the first Holiday Inn I ever stayed in. I thought I'd died and gone to heaven. We stayed in so many Naughty Pine motels. And he had a lovely home, beautiful house. We went in, we stayed there, got up the next morning. And the moment I got up, I sensed an unusual degree of the presence of God. I was shaving, tears flowing down my face, and the Spirit of God moving on me. And I was grateful and thrilled, but I wondered why. I was to find out shortly. We got in the car. We hadn't driven, I don't guess, 50 miles early that morning on our way from Memphis to Columbus, Georgia. The Spirit of God spoke to my heart and said, "Son, today Satan will try to kill you."
Over him, he didn't know what to do. I mean, his wife, his child, in the car. The Lord didn't say how. He just said, "The devil is going to try to kill you today." We stopped for breakfast, and Mother and I went in, and Dad told Mother, "Order for Donnie, y'all eat. I'm going back out to the car." Well, we didn't know what was going on, but he did.
I paid the bill for the breakfast. I wanted to get out and get by myself. I told Donnie and Francis, "Just take your time." And I got behind the car, and behind the wheel, sat down, and I laid my head over the wheel and I wept, and I said, "God, why? I don't think this is your will for me to be broken all up or even killed." We got back in the car. She did, rather than Donnie, and we left. The pressure was becoming almost unbearable. About an hour later, I topped a hill. I wasn't going.
A hill. As soon as we got to the top of the hill, as we looked down, there was a car stopped right in our lane. There was a state vehicle, a tractor, a lawnmower, a huge lawnmower on our side of the road, and this car had to stop as this vehicle came by. There was no way that Dad could stop in time.
As I topped the rise in the hill and looked down, there was a conglomerate of automobiles in the middle of the road, stopped. I couldn't stop myself. It was hopeless. There was a car stopped, and my first mental reaction, just instant, was to go around, but another one was coming. Then the next reaction was go off the side of the road on the shoulder, but there was a tractor there, and I found out later something had happened to it, the reason all the vehicles had suddenly stopped. I couldn't go anywhere. There was a solid earth embankment on my left-hand side, and I wheeled across the road and hit that embankment. Now,
we hit that embankment so hard that it threw me up. I could still feel it. Threw me up against the back seat. Mother, they were just coming out with seat belts in, and I don't even know if Mother had her seat belt on, but people in a moment's time, cars were stopping, people were jumping out. They just knew that they were going to find dead bodies. But when they got over there, one man pulled open the door, and there we are, all three of us, sitting there. Not a scratch on us.
I never really hit the brakes. I tapped them, but that was about it. Not one rim off of one of the headlights, never bent anything on the front, hit that solid earth embankment. When we came to a rest, Donnie was bumped from the back seat to the front, but no one was hurt. People descended on us from every corner. Opened the doors, and men were ashen, faces ashen white, and one man helped me out of the car, said, "Are you hurt?" I said, "We saw you top that hill." And I thought, the man said, "Oh, Lord, help us. Some people are going to be killed because he can't stop. It's impossible." They looked at us like we were strange. They were trying to be of help. They said, "How in the world did you stop? I saw you, and I saw how fast you were going."
We got out, and I mean, my dad was shaking, Mother was shaking, I was there, but we were all right. But here's the thing. When we hit that embankment, the trailer, the U-Haul trailer, flipped over on its side. Completely flipped over. without coming unshackled from the hinge.
I thanked him and I asked him, I said, could you help me get the trailer up? We pulled the trailer up. Now, mind you, it turned all the way over on its side, but never came loose from the hitch. We opened the doors. Now, listen to me. Opened the doors, and there wasn't one single thing overturned in that trailer. Not a thing. Nothing.
The dad put the key in the lock, unlocked it, and opened the door. Not one single item was out of place. Do you hear what I'm saying? Not one single item was out of place. Not one plastic record was broken. Not one suitcase was not where it was supposed to be. That sound equipment had not moved one iota. God, I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles. I believe in miracles.
That is, according to the law of gravity, impossible. We turned the trailer back up. I thanked the people for their kindness and help. Backed it out. And the moment we drove away, there was like an explosion in our hearts. We started speaking with other tongues. It just flowed. It was like you couldn't stop it. It just exploded, as if though the Holy Spirit was saying, I watched over you. He couldn't do what he tried to do. Believe me, and he will never do what he tries to do.
Why would God allow that to happen? Why would the devil try to kill a struggling evangelist from Faraday, Louisiana, because of what we're doing right now? I said because of what we're doing right now. I gotta say, I didn't come to say it, but I'm gonna say to those of you who've never been here, every time you turn on SBN, you are looking at a miracle. When you drive on this grounds, every single building on this ground is a miracle. We should, listen, the devil